Hey, what's up guys? It's Destry. Welcome back to my Oregon yard. Today the beautiful sun is out, and so I didn't even bother to get my tripod out or my mic or anything. I'm just gonna selfie style this real quick, and then I'm gonna set the camera up and just pull some bulbs out of one bed and replant them into a different bed because the bulbs are done. I need to pot up some stock seedlings, and then there was something else. I'm sure I'll think of it. Anyway, come join me in the backyard. The bulbs that I'm going to move. I'm glad I had this spring display, but also I need to move them to make more room for summer flowers, cut flowers that I want to grow. I do have some gladiolas coming up in the back, and I'm going to leave those, but these are all of those. They were really great. I had 2 and 3 blooms on, like you can see this one had what, 3 or 4 blooms. So they're really nice daffodils. So I'm going to take those out. And I'm just going to do it in clumps because I have like limited time. So, and then I'm going to let the hyacinth bloom a little bit longer. I'll probably, harvest those and get those out of there next. But I'm going to work on the daffodils first today. So this is the area I'm thinking about putting all of those daffodils, is just right along this fence. This garden bed is developed over the years and it's looking pretty good. I do have some perennials here. These are allium bulbs that are coming up. I have some catmint, catmint from Proven Winners, I believe. And I have a couple clumps of Shasta daisies and another one of the catmint. I think in here I also have a Russian sage that comes back, so I have to be a little careful, but I know right along the fence there's nothing. So that's a great place for me to plant a row of bulbs, and so that would be a tip I have for you, but I'm gonna try it. I think it'll be really great. I am gonna leave them a little bit closer in case the bulbs spread, but I can always divide them later. So here's what the bed is looking like, and I quickly discovered that it was taking a lot more time for me to hand dig these holes. So what I did is I just grabbed my little shovel and went ahead and dug holes in the correct spacing of, where I wanted the next patches. That did 2 things. It went a lot faster, and it also let me plan out how many more I need to complete this area. So it's going to be easier for me to dig them all up at one single time as well. This is something coming back. So I just wanted to say, if you have kind of yard art stuff or little trellises or cloches or even like a garden stake of some kind, use them as markers. So I came across this guy too, and so I put my my cute yard art right about there, so that also helps me to remember that there's something coming up there and to be a little bit careful. Also here I have I think it's a dahlia tuber, I'm not sure. Again, I don't know if this will return, but I went ahead and marked it with my little yard art trellis. So just a little tip I had for you along the way. I'm going to go ahead and dig the rest out and get them transplanted over here. I went ahead and stopped, and I'm going to tell you why in a second, but I have to say pulling those out It smelled so good. These hyacinths smell amazing. So having my nose in those the whole time of doing that was actually quite pleasurable. But you can see I still have a couple left. So let me show you why I stopped when I did. Basically, you know, I'm already disturbing kind of like the ecosystem of this poor little bulb. So what I'm going to try to do is, you know, just take as many out as I need. So I went ahead, I did my count, I just popped them all into the holes, and now I'm gonna get them covered quickly. I'm also doing this project while I'm in the shade here, so this whole area is shaded right now. And then that way I'm not, you know, leaving any in my bucket that like, oh, I ran out of space, I don't know what I'm gonna do with these yet. So leave them in the ground until I figure out where I'm going to put the rest of them. But for now, I'm going to go ahead and get these covered up as quickly as possible because I got to go pick up my kids from school. So I'm going to cover them up. Another tip for you is to use some of the same soil that the bulbs came out of originally. So when I backfill these, instead of totally filling them with, you know, the soil in the bed, which actually is really good because I've been cultivating it now for a couple years. Anyway, fill them with this dirt because again, that's one less thing, that's one less change they have to deal with. And when you're transplanting plants, it's really about the change. It's a change of location, change of sun, change of hours of sun. Like you're asking them to do a lot right now. So using some of that same soil will help. You could use starter fertilizer, although I'm not going to do that now because my goal right now is to get these to bloom again. This is to get them to bloom next year. What I am going to do is band up all the foliage with rubber bands. That way the foliage can stay on the plant for as long as possible, but it doesn't look so untidy. I don't know, I might leave them out for a couple days, but I'll probably band them. So let me show you what I mean over in this garden bed. I did a video on this corner the other day. It needs watered again, and everything needs mulched really bad, but I'm waiting for my irrigation to come in. So you can see here where I banded up the foliage there of the daffodils I put in this area. I have not tried this with tulips, but I have tried it. Actually, I've tried it with tulips and it wasn't as successful, to be honest. Daffodils, it seems to work fine. And it's kind of nice to plant them this time of year too, because I don't know, it's just cool right here in the shade. And I'm gonna get this project buttoned up so I can go do some other things today. And I'll have to think about those 5 bulbs that are left and decide where I want to put those in my yard. So all the daffodils are pulled out of here. I'm gonna harvest the hyacinths tonight, but I'm gonna dig those tubers, bulbs out another night. But these are still giving me a little bit of a show, so I'm gonna leave them there for now. And then over here is where I put them. And remember what I was talking about with yard art, putting a stake somewhere and marking something. I ran into a dahlia tuber right here. There's a dahlia tuber, and I was planting, I was making a hole. I didn't plant it there. And I cut up one of my dahlia tubers with my drill. I'm so bummed with my auger. So I'm hoping I didn't totally kill it. So I went ahead and put this little guy, this little froggy fork guy right here. Milo, get out of there. Where Milo's showing. Yep. Are you showing? Are you showing where I got the dahlia? Anyway, so I put that marker there. So hopefully I won't do that again. Anyway, I banded some of them. You can see some I banded. These ones were the ones that were already here. So I'm just going to leave the foliage for these, but I found that the ones I'm transplanting, the foliage within an hour or so is like, they're not happy with me. So I'm banding them. I'll show you the other spot that I banded them, but I got to get moving into the greenhouse and pot up some seedlings next. I tracked, but check out my peas. These are my eating peas, my shelling peas. Hi, Midnight. More shelling peas that are all coming up. I just gave them a little drink. Now it's supposed to rain the next couple days, so I'm not super worried about it. Same with these. So I banded all of them up along the fence here, but it's going to rain the next couple days, so I'm not going to worry about watering them in. Besides, this soil over here was really wet anyway, but I did band them, and you can see they're starting to get like a little flop-tastic. That's kind of why I decided to just, you know, kind of band them, kind of make sure the spacing looks right too. That's the other thing I'm checking, is to make sure, you know, it looks okay. And hopefully they will fill in. So those bulbs will multiply and hopefully fill in this whole area along the fence line in this garden bed with beautiful flowers in the spring, beautiful daffodils. So anyway, I'm gonna move into my greenhouse now and pot up some seedlings that are having a bit of a problem. So let me show you that. Right guys, so these are my stalk seedlings. Stalk is a type of flower, so you can see I have 3 different kinds, but I was checking them out. They were inside today, and look what I noticed. Do you see this? See how like it looks like a perfectly fine seedling, and then it's like, wah, wah, wah. I believe this is called damping off, and this is something that can happen. I realized this tray was sitting in water, so the little tray underneath was filled with water. And I think these got, sorry, it's windy and my greenhouse makes noise, but I think this particular tray cell got a little overwatered or something. So I'm gonna try to save these as many as I can and up pot them. The other stalks look okay, but here's another one where like, see that? I don't know if you can see that, but like, it's just like it was sprouting and then all of a sudden it just like dies. Goodbye. So tell me in the comments if you have any suggestions for me as far as this problem. I've heard of damping off and I'm pretty sure this is it. So I'm pretty bummed about it. But I think if I get these potted up into some bigger pots, you know, and hopefully maybe get them fertilized or something, that I can still save all these stock plants. So I'm gonna work on that next. So I remembered the last thing I needed to do tonight, which was to water in my snapdragons, not snapdragons, I'm sorry, my sweet peas. So these are sweet pea flowers. If you haven't seen the video about my husband and I building, mainly him, building these trellises, I will link that below for you, but I have gone ahead and planted up the sweet peas. Now, as far as I understand it, sweet pea flowers are pretty cold tolerant. In fact, they like the cold a little bit, and they were really struggling in my greenhouse. So I'm happy to have these in here, and I'm thinking they're gonna take off. So I did water them in a bit, and then we did reseed the grass in this area because it really needed it. So I need to just water this in real quick. It is supposed to rain for the next couple days, like I said. So it's not the end of the world if it doesn't get watered and it looks pretty wet anyway, but I'm gonna try to help it along by watering. And then I did plant some eating peas, some shelling peas on either side of this trellis. So I just watered those really quickly. The other thing I did the other day, here I better go around because all this is like seed, grass seed right now. I did plant up these geraniums and they're looking really good. I did water them as well as the primroses. So again, if you haven't seen that video, it's kind of vlog style here where I kind of take you through, but they're doing really well. Look, they've even put on new growth. They seem really happy. So unless we get a cold snap, I think they're gonna be fine. My pansies are looking pretty good over here. And then I did plant my first planting here in my new Vigo bed, and it is bluebells. I believe the other name for it is campanula, and these were when I winter sowed in a milk jug. So I just kind of clumped them. I mean, they're not thinned out really, but I just kind of put them in little clumps here along the front. Bluebells are a fairly short flower, at least from what I remember last year. I'll try to find a picture from last year of when they were in season, and they're so pretty. So I just popped those in there just to get them out of the winter sowing jugs as well. And then my little flower over here of my bicycle flower is doing good, but I watered this in today too, just to kind of make sure. I think I need to water it a bit more, but anyway, it's looking really good. So that was my last thing I need to do tonight, is just do some watering. Check and check. Okay, gardeners, the breeze has picked up, and that's going to be it for me tonight. I got to get inside and get dinner going and all those other things besides gardening. Anyway, I hope you liked the video, and I hope it gave you some tips on moving bulbs that have already bloomed. Instead of just throwing them away, at least for me, I'm going to try to keep them, and hopefully I can build my collection of spring blooming bulbs this way. So if you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you need me, I'll be hanging out in my yard. See you next time. Bye.